All right, guys, I'm going to give you a couple afternoon editorials. They're real short. I'm going to throw them out there for you. Just a couple of stories that I came across, a couple of them of interest to you, one particular interest. The first one, I'll save that one for last because that's the good one. But apparently, this first one comes to us from WG9TV.com. The Lake County State's Attorney's Office announced that former Vernon Hills Deputy Chief of Police Patrick Zimmerman was indicted by a grand jury on Wednesday, that's today, on 2 felony counts of official misconduct and 2 misdemeanor theft accounts. The grand jury today alleged that Zimmerman falsified records related to the Sustained Traffic Enforcement Program administered by the Illinois Department of Transportation. Now, the program's grant funds are given to local police departments who use the money to compensate officers for additional time spent on traffic enforcement. After the department identified discrepancies in the grant documentation in September 2020, Zimmerman resigned from his position as Deputy Chief of Police. A subsequent investigation found that Zimmerman had been paid over $4,000 based on false traffic citations he had written. The falsified records triggered payment of grant funds despite the tickets having never been submitted for processing to the village, courts, or Secretary of State. No motorists were affected. Vernon Hills Chief of Police Patrick L. Kreis said that the department has worked tirelessly to uncover fraud and cooperate with the investigation. Zimmerman will remain free on a stayed $50,000 bench warrant until his arraignment, which is scheduled for April 5th. And so here's a cop that you would think you could trust, a deputy chief of police, somebody that should set the standards, right? The chief of police sets the standards. You'd think that the deputy chief would hold to those standards and set them for his subordinates. No, he's out there collecting money that's not rightly his. So he's falsifying stuff. He's stealing. So now he's been indicted. Today they have announced the official indictment. And he'll get a bad baby. Stop that. And then he'll get to live on his pension. There you go. Let's go to the next one. Thank you to OrlandoSentinel.com for this story. A man facing multiple charges of impersonating a police officer in Orange County was arrested by deputies Tuesday for carrying a concealed weapon as a convicted felon, records show. The arrest affidavit for one Jeremy DeWitt was not immediately available, but according to WESH Channel 2, deputies found a tear gas, gun, or chemical weapon inside a law enforcement-style firearm holster DeWitt was wearing after they pulled him over on Interstate 4 near Winter Park Tuesday afternoon. That's yesterday. The station reported a bystander recorded Jeremy DeWitt's arrest and said he was pulled over with another man dressed in a security uniform and arrested after a loud confrontation. The other man was not detained by deputies.
You're watching exclusive video of the latest arrest of Jeremy DeWitt. He and another man dressed in similar clothing were pulled over on I-4 near Fairbanks, but only DeWitt was placed in handcuffs by Orange County Sheriff's deputies and walked to a patrol car for transport to the Orange County Jail.
That officer right there disarmed the security officer.
A man who wishes to be identified only as Alex recorded this cell phone video minutes before we arrived and described a loud confrontation between officers and the 2 men on motorcycles.
They're telling them to get on the ground, they're yelling at them, and they're pointing guns at them this whole time. They let the second guy go with his gun belt when they took the gun belt away from the guy that they arrested.
DeWitt is a convicted sex offender who served 4 years in prison for lewd and lascivious assault on a teenaged girl. According to the arrest affidavit, DeWitt is now charged with carrying a concealed weapon by a convicted felon.
Get your lieutenant, please.
There is no lieutenant. I'm in.
Then get a captain.
There is no captain.
Then get somebody that outranks you, Sergeant.
Nobody outranks me.
And we got the cat back from the Orange County Sheriff.
Calm down. Hey, put him in the car. Put him in the car.
And that motorcycle has that tag.
Who is this guy?
Jeremy DeWitt.
Oh, that's Jeremy right there? Oh.
A video posted to DeWitt's YouTube channel Monday showed him wearing a duty belt with a holstered object that resembles a gun while working with his funeral escort service, Metro State Special Services.
On the first one, and 19 CF 15056 is another warrant.
What are you fucking doing, dog? I just got done fucking describing it, and I just told you don't fuck up one time. You're on his right now, yellow shirt. You're on his right now. Yeah, let's not fuck up again. Last two vehicles. Silver minivan following a red hatchback. Silver minivan following a red hatchback. I don't give a fuck. Hey! Stop your vehicle! Unfucking believable. You better, you out of my funeral, out of my funeral. You over there. Motor one's moving again. Get the fuck over! What are you doing? What the fuck does it look like I'm doing, dumb fuck? Get the fuck over before you find out.
Stop pretending you're a police officer.
Listen, motherfucker, I know what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. What you need to do is figure it the fuck out before you start talking shit and cutting us off.
I'm not cutting anyone.
Go ahead and pull your little phone out,
I'm not
do
cutting
your little
anyone
Google search and figure out what we're doing and what we legally allow. Good. Then back off and give us room.
I'm not interfering with you at all.
You are by running along.
You've been blocking traffic.
Yeah, I need you to stay to the side, sir. Dude, that's what the legal law is. Go back and look it up. 316. Good. Call them now. Please, 911 right now.
I'm not calling 911.
Go ahead. Call them 911 right now.
I'm not going to call 911.
Tell them it's on video
emergency.
too. Let them know all of this.
That's
It's on
fine.
video. We also have your tag number. So please let me know.
Escort you to your truth.
Watch this.
Jeremy DeWitt is being held at the Orange County Jail on $5,000 bond. In addition to his recent charge, Jeremy DeWitt is currently facing over 20 charges across 10 different court cases since 2019, including 8 charges of falsely impersonating an officer while working with the funeral escort service. Body-worn camera footage released by the Orange County Sheriff's Office from DeWitt's October 2019 arrest shows him directing traffic, weaving through lanes at high speeds, and pulling over a motorist. In videos posted since his arrests and interviews with local TV stations, Jeremy DeWitt has repeatedly denied that his actions show him impersonating a police officer. YouTube videos show him mocking prosecutors, law enforcement, and critics, and defending his actions as part of his business. Other charges against Jeremy DeWitt include aggravated assault, failure to register as a sex offender, and false registration by a sex offender. Jeremy DeWitt is a registered sex offender with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, stemming from a 2005 charge of sexual battery on a victim 12 to 15 years old. Records show. So this dude, for all of you who hire this guy for your funeral services, you're hiring a convicted sex offender to escort your funeral service with the kids in the car. So now this dude, and this Jeremy DeWitt guy, he's pretty famous. I've watched so many of his videos, and this dude's like, he's whack, man. I want to know what you guys think about these. The deputy police chief and this Jeremy DeWitt. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers, to include dishonest deputy chiefs and police impersonators who lead funeral services. And from coast to coast.